Hi everyone, welcome to African Testing Edition. Subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Like my Facebook page and follow me on big as what African Testing Edition. Press the icon so you get info. It's a playlist. Bye now.
Further delay, let's get right into the video. Peter Gregory Obi is a true illustration of the difference between a politician and a leader. A politician wants to win by any means and it does not matter the rules that he broke in the process. But Peter Obi, on the other hand, says he's not desperate to be president, but he's just desperate to see things change like every other Nigerian.
Did you probably think that you may not get the ticket of the party? Not at all, not at all, not at all. I'm not desperate to be president. Not am I desperate to be anything. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work, especially for the youths of this country.
Peter Gregory Obi is a Nigerian businessman, entrepreneur, politician, and philanthropist. He was born on the 19th July 1961 in Onitsha in Anambra State, Nigeria. He attended Christ the King College, where he obtained his O-level result before proceeding to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he obtained a bachelor degree in philosophy. During his early days, he was born into an Igbo Catholic family. His parents were well-known traders in the famous Onitsha main market. That was where he got his first business experience from. After his university, he moved to Lagos State, Nigeria, and started the importation of champagne and other expensive drinks before moving into the corporate world, where he served in numerous positions in different companies. He was a former chairman of Fidelity Bank, Guardian Express Mortgage Bank, Paymaster Nigeria, Champs Nigeria PLC, and many more. Now, Peter Obi is a major shareholder in Fidelity Bank, Access, and Diamond Bank.
How did you make the money?
I'm telling you, the business I'm doing, that I was a brand and market management company that I run. I had a Heinz franchise. You can go and look. I was the sole owner of Heinz, like cream, baked beans. Just to give you an example of one company. South African breweries, who's the international breweries, I was their sole engineer. I can go on and on. I was working, bringing the Ovaltine for Novartis with another company. When I can go on and everything. In fact, to tell you what the company is, the company I was involved before, when I left and my brother took it over and paid me off, sort of became Next Cash and Carry that you see in Abuja and Port Harcourt now. So the same company. I was a trader. Everybody knows I was a very big trader. Even chairman will tell you. Chairman knew I used to import wine and used to send him champagne. He will tell you that when he was in Surrey, when all of us were still at the struggling stage. So I had a viable business, but went into banking. So if the person wants to know, I was sitting on the board of 3 banks, could be chairman of one before I became governor. So that is also a business.
So you have shares in those banks too?
Major shares.
Major shares in those banks.
Yeah.
When it comes to academics, Peter Obi is one of the most educated politicians in Nigeria, with degrees from high-profile universities from all over the world. Here is a list of some of his degrees. He attended the Lagos School of Business, where he completed the Chief Executive Program. Harvard School of Business, where he studied the mid-marketing. London School of Economics, where he studied financial management and business policy. Columbia Business School, New York, where he studied marketing management. Institute of Management and Development, Switzerland, where he studied senior executive program and breakthrough programs for CEOs. Kellogg College School of Management in USA, where he studied Advanced Executive Program. Kellogg School of Management USA, where he studied the Global Advanced Management Program. Oxford University Set School of Business, where he studied Advanced Management and Leadership Program. Cambridge University George Business School, where he studied Advanced Leadership Program. Peter Obi's resume is just top-notch and astonishing. I'm just baffled with so much degrees and knowledge. Peter Obi initially had no intention of joining politics, but after persuasion from his people and him wanting to see things change in the country, he decided to venture into politics. Here is what he had to say about him joining politics.
That made me to decide this is enough. And what was that? Coincidentally, in 1999, Professor B.C. was ran to be governor of Anambra State. In the primary, he lost. Professor B.C. I wasn't part of the election, wasn't the party, wasn't the party member. In 2001, they found out that the governor then wasn't doing what he expected, and a group of people approached him and say, you plan to contest in 2003. Professor BC once turned to the group and said, I'm going to be 60 in 2003. Nobody, no 60-year-old can govern Anambra State. It's a very difficult state. You need a young man between 40 and 45 who is successful on his own, who can be able to battle all the problems. And he was asked, this happened in December 2001, and he was asked, as Professor BC was, actually December 2000, not 2001, sorry, that he should give them somebody. Eventually, they ended up 3 names that they can approach to do the job. I didn't know all this discussion. It was later that I knew. I was just in a bank, as Fidelity Bank, which is mentioned now. ABC was Minister of Health, and he invited me for a dinner. For me as a bank, I'm going to look for deposits. So I went to dinner, we finished talking, we never mentioned politics. We talked generally about Nigeria, my ideas about Nigeria and everything. And finished dinner, I left for Lagos. He didn't tell me about politics. But in April, the people went back to him. He told them, I have 3 candidates. 1, P2B, 2, P2B, 3, P2B. Go and look for him. The people came from his office to my office and talked about politics. And I told them I used the word, over my dead body. At 14, I was chairman of the bank. I was the highest investor in the bank. I had interest in 3 banks where I was seated on the board. I'm enjoying myself. I don't have anything. I fly every week. I go to London and come back first class. So what is this man talking? Go and get involved with this madness. That year, I had always done courses in various schools. Every year, I spent at least a week. Usually it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks in school. That's taking me to Harvard, to Columbia, Oxford, Cambridge. I've been to all of them. That year I was going to Kellogg Graduate School to do a program that was for 6 weeks. So in June that year, I went to Kellogg. The man who founded Kellogg Graduate School, Professor Dean Jacob, it was his last year. He founded the school in 1957. 2001 was the last year he taught and retired. And he took us on what they call global economy. After 1 month of being in this class, this man never mentioned anything about Africa. A day before he concluded the lecture, everybody in Chicago the hall was full of top business leaders. A day before that, the final day, when he finished, I raised my hand and said, you never said anything about Africa. He said, you want to know about Africa? I said, yes. I paid $40,000 for this course. And nothing was mentioned about the continent I came. He said, I'll tell you about Africa tomorrow. The next day, which was his last day, he finished and said, you want to know about Africa? It's important I'll tell you this story. I said, yes. He said, there's nothing called African economy. He said, nobody plans with Africa. I was so, you can imagine how I feel. He turned to me and said, Peter, can you give me 10, 20-year plan of your country?
Peter Gregory Obi was a 2-time governor of Anambra State, where he managed to transform the state, paying off outstanding pensions, schools, healthcare, roads, and leaving over $200 million in office before he left for his successor, Willie Obiano, which he used in building the now Anambra State International Airport.
I know Anambra very well. And so, When I met the governor who had just finished his tenure, I asked him, I said, my dear brother, I had been longing to thank you immensely. You did something remarkably well. God bless you. He said, my brother, what is that? I said, the international airport you built in Oka. I said, I am exceedingly happy. He said, oh my God, I'm happy hearing it from you. Then I added, I said, where did you get the money? He said, Biko, now my former colleague left the money behind. I laughed. I said, he left it. He said, frankly speaking, he left money in foreign currency. It's the money I saw. I said, look, let me leave a legacy before we go. So, I'm not promising. I won't leave money. I'm owing them here. And I'll use the money well.
In 2019, he was the running mate for Atiku Abubakar for the presidential election, where they lost to Buhari and Osibanjo. P2B has a good record of integrity, and he has won the heart of Nigerians and started